Good morning. Welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. In the words of Carl Seberg, let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together. We extend an especially warm welcome to our visitors this morning, and we'll be waiting to chat with you at the welcome desk after the service. Remember, we were all newcomers once, and if you're joining us online, please say hi in the chat. We now invite everyone to rise and greet each other.
Good morning. We have just a few announcements today. First from Jen Lacey.
Good morning. Our April Tall in the Fall meeting, which was supposed to happen today, has been rescheduled for Sunday, May 4th. And secondly, each year, our middle and high school youth stuff hundreds of Easter eggs for our younger children to hunt on Easter Day. Today's Easter egg hunt has been moved to the adult RE hallway due to the rainy weather. That is the hallway right behind me. Following the service, we will gather near the restrooms in the adult RE hallway to pass out Easter baskets if you don't have one, and receive instructions from our youth. We will then hunt for eggs in the classrooms. All are welcome.
And now we have an announcement from Fisk about stewardship.
Good morning, everyone. Even though the stewardship campaign has ended, here I am in front of you still talking about stewardship. So it's really exciting. We have about 78% of our pledges, and we're at about 78% of our stewardship goal, which is really, really good news. We're really excited about it. But what that means is that we still have about 22% of our pledges that haven't been made yet. And I've been reflecting on this, and what I've concluded is that we haven't really done a good job. We haven't effectively communicated why it's so important for you to make your pledge at this time. And so just really quickly, at the June board meeting, the board is legally required to approve a balanced budget. It's not just a nice thing. It's not just a good idea. Our bylaws require it. So what that means is, in our stewardship campaign, if we don't get to our goal, then things need to be removed for our budget from next year to balance. And so if we had the rest of our pledges, would we be at our full goal? I don't know. But by not having made the pledge yet, what that's doing is it's jeopardizing things that the church would like to accomplish next year. So I would just ask, if you have not yet made your pledge, now hopefully you can come and talk to me and ask questions about this if you have questions, but if you've not made your pledge yet, please do so as soon as possible. And it's really easy to do. All you have to do is send an email to Shay Stevens or Haley Chafin in the office. You just send them an email and say, well, this is what I'd like to pledge, and they will set it up for you. So you don't have to navigate the complexities of Realm or anything like that. You can do it if you want to, but it's like, oh, I don't know really how to do that. You can just send an email to Shay or to Haley, and they'll take care of it for you. Anyway, so thank you very much.
We gather today still under the terror of empire, struggling to be who we know we could be if only, if only, if only. We make our way amidst the people in our lives, the woman at the coffee shop working on her computer, the people in the market ringing up groceries, and we wonder how their disconnection from the earth aches. We wonder how poverty weighs on them, how their ability to love has been hurt, all under the terror of empire. Today we gather to bear witness that somehow amidst this mess and difficulty, the time for flowers comes again and again and again. Today we gather in absolute praise that there is something so powerful that even all the evil in the world could never kill it. That life and love win even after devastation, even after destruction, even after humans have done their very worst. That despite our harshest selves, there still come the knives of the crocus blade, the brook frothing lace, the stones that roll away to reveal just the surface of how powerful life truly is, teeming beneath a big, solid rock. For that which appears dead may hold within it life yet more than we could ever know. So, alleluia, let us praise that beyond empire, beyond death, beyond monumental life, lies new life, green shoots, a path on. Come, let us worship. Please rise as you're willing and able for our opening hymn number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakens.
As Eliza and Amelia come forward to light our chalice, we invite you to join us as we recite our covenant. Let us affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity and fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another.
At this time, I'd like to invite all the children forward for Time for All Ages. Welcome. Oh, nice suit and a bow tie. They are. Welcome, welcome. Yes, have a seat. There's room. All right, raise your hand if you have ever found a small magical place just for you, somewhere like in the back of a dark closet or hidden outside. Anyone ever have a special place in the dark? Yes, I still love finding magical dark spaces, even as an adult. I remember when I was 22 years old, I crawled into the dark closet of my first apartment, and I carved an image into the wall like I was an ancient cave dweller, leaving a gift for my landlord to find later on. Who's been inside of a cave? Yeah, what was it like? It was wet, a little drippy. Yeah. Very dark. Yeah. Some sharp edges. Yeah. Yeah. A little eerie. Yes. Caves are so dark and eerie and quiet. I think there's something very mysterious and magical about caves, about dark spaces. Today is Easter Sunday, and many Easter stories celebrate the return of sunlight and the rebirth of life from the darkness of winter. Flowers are blooming, emerging from the dark buds. Rabbits are awakening from the darkness of their burrows, and beetles are crawling out of the dark soil. Many of you may know the Christian Easter story of Jesus, a story of a spiritual teacher who was killed by a violent empire. The women who loved him prepared his body for burial in a cave, and a stone was rolled over the entrance. On the third day after his death, those same women came back and they found that the stone had been rolled away and Jesus' body was gone. And it was a sign for them that death and darkness are never the end. Like the spring season, light will return and nature will be reborn. What are some of your favorite things about this spring season? Yeah. What? Bees? Yes, I've been seeing some. Yeah. The warmer weather. Uh-huh. Yeah, all the colors, a lot of the same colors you're wearing today, the pastels of flowers. Yes. Flowers, yes. The flowers, uh-huh, yeah. The animals, you starting to see them more and more? Yeah, Norman? Prairie, Roger? Easter bunny, yeah.
The grass isn't covered in snow.
Yeah, you see the grass again? Yeah. The sun, yes.
I was going to say the sun's real.
Wait a second. The sunlight, yes, for sure. The return of light and flowers, the rebirth of nature are definitely worth celebrating. But I don't want us to forget about the darkness in these spring stories. When I was younger, the church I attended taught me that light was good and darkness was bad. But I think the darkness of caves and rabbit burrows plays an important part in the stories of rebirth and transformation. One doesn't have to occur without the other. For many cultures, caves represent the womb of Mother Earth. Many indigenous people believe that their ancestors emerged from caves and mounds in the earth, just like babies are born from their mother's womb. Ancient people would enter caves looking for spiritual retreat and would emerge transformed. Raise your hand if you think we should dig a cave in our church. I like that idea. I think so. I was really thinking that maybe is what's missing. I will talk to the facilities committee on your behalf. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll help write a letter. I'll ask really nicely.
All right. I've got them excited about a cave. Well, we can't dig a cave yet until we get permission. But I brought some dark stones with me to give to you. Would you help pass them out for me? You can grab them. It's kind of heavy. So would you start passing them out to some of the children for me? Thank you so much. So these stones, I'm giving them to you as a gift. So when you need to retreat because life is hard, or maybe you just need a quiet moment to yourself, you can close your eyes and touch your stone and imagine the stone feels like the walls of an ancient cave. All right, once you all get a stone, we're gonna do just a real short meditation with our stone. All right, anyone still need one? All right, perfect. All right, I want you all to close your eyes and imagine you are in a cave. It is dark and wet and quiet. Feel the stone between your fingers. Imagine you are running your fingers across the cave wall. As you take a breath, feel the connection between you and Mother Earth. Let's take a couple breaths together. Thank the darkness for this moment of retreat in this cave. And when you are ready, open your eyes and welcome the light again in your own transformation. All right, I want you to take your stone with you. And if you don't have a dark space already, you can use this stone to engage in a very similar meditation. All right. Please sing us out, Daniel.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Each month, we as a community take time to reflect on a theme. The children do this in their classes, and we do it here in worship and in our small groups. This month, the theme is joy. poet and author Ross Gay once reflected, "What if joy and pain are fundamentally tangled up with one another? Or even more to the point, what if joy is not only entangled with pain, suffering, or sorrow, but it's also what emerges from how we care for each other through those things? What if joy, instead of refuge or relief from heartbreak, is what effloresces from us as we help each other carry our heartbreaks? Which is to say, what if joy needs sorrow?" The past 3 months have been filled with daily heartbreaks and sorrow, not to mention rage, as we have witnessed a barrage of morally corrupt and hateful actions and policies through abuse of power. I vacillate from anger to outrage to overwhelm and paralysis to outright despair. Can anyone relate? I don't have answers, though I know that safe and inclusive spaces like this one remind me to have hope and find joy where I can. What if, as Ross Gay suggested, these heartbreaks, cared for in community, can propagate joy? Each week, we share joys and sorrows in this sanctuary, recognizing that life is filled with both, and acknowledging, celebrating, and caring for one another through both the pain of our heartbreaks and the joy of our triumphs. This spring, as the resurrection of foliage and flowers emerges around us, the return of birds and the birth of bunnies and other creatures, I have, for the first time in a long time, found joy playing in the dirt, propagating potted snake plants and mint, and nurturing our perennials from hostas to peonies and daylilies. The amount of joy received through this gardening, tending, and nurturing has surprised me. These tasks can feel so mundane. And I'll be honest, the weeds definitely don't spark joy in the same way that the plants do. Yet, watching the emergence, the growth, the blossoming over these past weeks has filled me with so much satisfaction and joy. Has my intense sorrow helped to increase this joy? I believe it has. I have sensed in my connection to the earth deeper awareness of my intense sorrow and of my great joy. Nurturing new life and finding joy in these challenging times feels defiant. I'm going to keep digging in the dirt, joyfully, defiantly.
For the beauty of the earth
We come to this place to see and be seen, to teach and be taught, to hear and be heard. I invite you to reach out and nudge the person sitting next to you, reminding them and yourselves that we are gathered here together in peace and authenticity and in intention. We also come to this place to share our joys and sorrows. If you have a rare joy or a profound sorrow and would like to share in 2 to 3 sentences, please come forward and light a candle.
This is a candle of joy. My son, just 12 days shy of his 18th birthday, earned his rank of Eagle Scout on Thursday.
Hello, everyone. I'm lighting a candle for all of us on the margins who continue to show up, to give their love, to give their time and everything, even when daily we hear that we don't matter. So I light a candle for all of us who have our hearts remaining soft during this time.
I light this candle in memory of my dear, dear friend, Reverend Janet Claire Forts Goldsmith, for her joy, her hope, and her persistence in speaking truth to power.
Hi, I have 2 joys to share. One is that tomorrow my little daughter turns 4. And my other is that this week I received notice that I've been accepted to graduate school.
Hello, my name's Annette, and this candle is for my granddaughter Juno. Her birthday was yesterday, and she is already 7.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Warner. I am lighting this candle for everybody in our community and in the world who is autistic. And just a reminder that you are lovely and wonderful, and you add value, creativity, and wonderful things to this world.
Hi, I'm Greg Hack. This is, I don't know what, a candle of chagrin. I did make my pledge a couple weeks ago, but I realized it was almost exactly a year ago it was brought to my attention that pledges do not automatically renew, and I had not made my pledge a year ago this time. So if you think it happens automatically, it doesn't.
It's a lot, but I'm glad I was finally able to bring something special, actually make it to share with everyone, and also something for my mother, who had recently lost a family pet. Welcome.
This is a candle of remembrance for my brother-in-law, Ali Vassef, and my sister-in-law, Naomi Vassef. Today would have been their 12th wedding anniversary. And while our sorrow is great in missing them, we're joyful that they're still together.
I want to keep in our hearts everyone who is living in heightened fear regarding their safety and their disappearances. Please join me in song.
We hear your word.
just take a moment to come more fully into this space. You might put your feet flat on the floor. You might let your breath leave slowly from your body. Close your eyes. Let us let the chaos of getting here melt away and come into a space of rest and safety. Source of love, rise as the spring in our overwintered hearts. Help us stretch from the dark and nourishing soil to the bright and nurturing sunlight. Help us reach for one another. Love us back to life in all its fullness as we blossom and unfold amid days that will always contain beauty and terror alike. No matter what else they may hold, may each day contain impossible, inexorable, blooming love. I invite you to envision someone in your life, whether you know them well or don't know them at all, who you know is suffering. You can imagine their face. Holding them in your heart. Imagine yourself saying, I got you. Placing your hand over your heart. Take a moment to say to yourself, I got me. I got me. And then placing your hands open in your lap, imagine yourself thinking, we've got this. We've got this. Source of love, rise as the spring does in our overwintered hearts. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you to continue your meditation on the earth as we sing, From you I receive, to you I give.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you
This is Beginners by Denise Levertov. But we have only begun to love the earth. We have only begun to imagine the fullness of life.
How could we tire of hope? So much is in the bud.
How can desire fail? So much is in our imagining of justice and mercy.
Only begun to envision how it might be to live as siblings with beast and flower, not as oppressors.
Surely our river cannot already be hastening into the sea of non-being.
Surely it cannot drag in the silt all that is innocent.
Not yet, not yet. There is too much broken that must be mended.
Too much hurt that we have done to each other that cannot yet be forgiven.
We have only begun to know the power that is in us if we join our solitudes in the communion of struggle.
So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in the bud.
I have a plot along the north side of my house that got my love last fall. I put in a bunch of native perennials, cornflower and columbine, sedges and St. John's wort. And soon enough, the ground went cold for the winter, freezing those little roots in their earthen mold, dormant and covered in a blanket of beautiful snow. Months passed, and when the snow thawed and the ground was uncovered, what did I find? But none of my plants were coming up. I looked over at my lawn, and there was some grass shoots over there, but my precious new little plants, nothing. I began to wonder if indeed they had not taken, for they looked dead. Each day I would go out and I would squat down and I would clear the mulch out of the way and pin back the cloth and search amidst the rich black soil for signs of life. But no green shoots. Perhaps you too have spent time searching for signs of life. We all have come upon times where we look around and see only what has been or could be lost. When things that are precious to us appear dead. Indeed, this is what I believe the Easter story is about. It addresses the darkness in our lives, the moment when it seems that the death has occurred, when the empire has won and done the unthinkable, executed a tender, loving person, perhaps your friend, perhaps your love. Your person perhaps has been deleted, and you're never again going to see them. This is about the dark times of life, the great grief and loss that is part of the human experience that no human being can live and avoid. Indeed, this is why I think when Mary Magdalene shows up at the tomb, the sentence says, "And while it was still dark, Mary came to the tomb." I think this is to say that she's in such a deep grief. She's beside herself with loss, and everything is just black and shadowed to her. It begins in the darkness. It begins when someone is plucked off the street and put into a prison with no hope of ever getting out. It begins when we are weighed down with the grief of a transition. It begins when we look around and it seems that due process is dying. It begins when we are lost in a depression. It begins when we face an insurmountable debt. It begins when a precious relationship ends or when a precious being dies. It begins with wrapping a body in linen, suffering what one author recently called deletion commensurate, when you find out that someone in your life has died suddenly. It begins in the darkness of winter, when it seems the earth has died. It begins in the fear that the universe has been rent too far. My question as I wrote this sermon is, what posture do we take when something looks dead? This is my question this Easter. For not a single one of us shall live a life without the long night of the soul. In her book, When Things Fall Apart, Pema Chodron says that things falling apart is also a kind of healing. We think that the point is to overcome the problem, but the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and they fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, and for joy. Simply put, when things appear to have died, our job is to stay present and compassionate and open. In the story of Jesus' death, I'm intrigued by the fact that the disciples fled once they saw his suffering. They were like, we're not dealing with this. But Mary stayed. She anointed his feet. She remained present and compassionate and open. We go out and we pick through that loamy soil in an exercise of companionship to my little plants buried so deep beneath the cold, wet earth. I wonder, what would it actually mean for us to be present, compassionate, and open in our darkest caves? Lisa Fishbeck said that the moment when Mary arrives in the darkness and sees that the tomb has been opened reminds us to open ourselves to the journey, to persevere with the understanding and knowing and embracing of that life-changing, world-shifting, reality-jolting event. Could we stay open amidst that? I invite you to reflect on what mysterious gifts you have received from the losses in your life. In what ways have you been proven wrong already about what appeared to be dead? How has your presence and compassion and commitment to openness led you into a new life and a new love? For you in your own world, how has love won? How has life won? What I got from this close presence and companionship to the cold, dead-seeming earth is I simply got to see a tiny red curl resisting up against a piece of mulch. I saw the sharp knife of green amidst the hay of last year's growth. I bore witness to 2 months of slow showing new life. And what did Mary get from her presence? When she got to the tomb and the tomb was empty, she turned to the gardener and asked, "Where have they taken him? Where is his body?" She doesn't know yet, as the story goes, that the gardener is her beloved. There's a moment in the tale where Jesus knows it's Mary, but she doesn't know it's him, and he says her name, Mary. And for anyone here who has ever lost someone they love, would you not cherish anything more than to hear your name on your beloved's lips? Rose. And Mary turns and realizes that it's him. It's very personal and very intimate. And indeed, half of all people who experience a loss also experience bereavement hallucinations, one of the many strange and miraculous ways that life lives on in new ways past death. I feel that this story is teaching us that if we are able to remain open and present and aware during the darkest times, the internal work that we do in that space will bring us so much closer to understanding and enlightenment. Withstanding all of this life in its times of great difficulty is, in a way, how we play our part in the resurrection. Because can't we all bear witness to the fact that new life does spring up, that our difficult times have brought unforeseeable chapters, brought us to the miracle of deeper love, and for this we can confidently say that despite all the loss and difficulty that we've been through, that still here waiting for us are the green sheaths of the crocus blade pushing up, the life teeming just beneath that big flat dead rock, that what looks dead cannot be dead in a poetic sense of the word, for life always takes new shapes and forms, formed by us most poignantly in our openness and our presence and our compassion, which leads the path on. So wherever you find yourselves today, whatever space you inhabit in your soul, today is a day to remember and rejoice in the ancient, unwavering truth that love and life and beauty persist without us, within us, and among us. There will forever spring a font that we neither earned nor deserve. It simply is. Look to the earth whose brooks froth lace, whose gifts bring us continually closer into communion with what is sacred. Let us kneel down on this cold, wet earth today, our knees wet in praise of our greatest teacher, whose seasons of life are told again and again in every great myth. Source of all, to thee we praise, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Thus, come quickly to the meadow, come gather by the stream, for a brighter sun is shining. Watch the water catch her gleam. Hallelujah, anyways.
The work of the church depends on us, our generosity of time, wisdom, and financial resources. We invite you to give generously to support the ongoing work of the church. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation.
Come quickly to the meadow, come gather by the stream, for a brighter sun is shining. Watch the water catch her gleam. Welcome spring, come smell the fragrant roses, come taste
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 63, Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers.
This week, I invite you to get a little bit dirty and participate in the resurrection of the flowers. Go in peace.